Right now, while you're watching this video, 11 essential items are quietly vanishing from grocery store shelves across America. Industry insiders are stockpiling, supply chain workers are getting no answers from corporate, and most shoppers have no idea it's happening. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly which everyday items are disappearing, why even grocery managers can't keep them in stock, and the critical steps you need to take before the mainstream catches on and panic buying empties the shelves in hours. Welcome to Food Decider, where we cut through the noise and give you the real information you need to protect your family's food security. If you find this valuable, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss crucial updates like this. Now, let's talk about what's really going on in your grocery store. The empty shelves during the height of the pandemic supply chain crisis are still fresh in everyone's memory. But here's what most people don't realize. Those days aren't over. The problem has just changed form. Instead of everything being out of stock at once, we're now seeing something far more insidious. It's 11 specific categories vanishing quietly, sporadically, masking the real risk that's building. Industry insiders from grocery managers to supply chain professionals are acknowledging what few shoppers actually see. Restock dates are evaporating for some product lines. Entire sections can be bare for weeks at a time, and when frontline workers ask corporate when items will be back, they get no clear answers. This opacity makes it incredibly easy for the public to miss the warning signs until it's too late. So why is this spotty availability more dangerous than completely empty shelves? Because it lulls people into a false sense of security. The disruptive cycle means items may be fully stocked one week and completely vanish the next, sometimes for months. You walk past a full shelf today and assume it'll always be there. Then suddenly, it's not. And here's the critical part. When the mainstream finally catches on, when these shortages make headlines on the evening news, panic buying steps in, and these products disappear within hours, not days. I'm talking about stores cleaned out before you even get off work. Preparing quietly, before the masses react, is the only real defense against this. So let's get into the 11 items you need to know about right now. These aren't random selections. Each one sits at the intersection of supply chain vulnerability and genuine survival utility, covering preservation, sanitation, comfort, and even barter value if things get worse. Let's start with something that sounds boring but holds immense value: canning lids. Yes, canning lids. Here's what most people don't know. The canning lid industry operates on machinery dating back to the 1970s, and many of the parts for these machines are no longer in production. Manufacturers are literally forced to cobble together custom solutions just to keep production lines running. During peak canning season last year, shelves were empty for 3 solid months straight. People were paying absolutely exorbitant prices online just to get their hands on a box of lids, and the situation has only gotten worse since then. Farm supply stores that used to stock hundreds of boxes now have a handful or none at all. But here's why you need these even if you don't actually can food. These lids are invaluable for resealing jars for dry storage. You can reuse them repeatedly. They're almost weightless, making them incredibly compact, and they make excellent barter items if supply chains deteriorate further. Their long-term utility makes them a must-have for even casual food security planning. Next up is black pepper. Yes, the spice that's probably sitting on your table right now. Behind that simple shaker sits a global story that should concern you. 35% of the world's black pepper comes from Vietnam, which is currently battling the worst drought in 30 years. Yields are down significantly, and here's the kicker. Pepper vines take several years to mature, which means today's weather patterns will shape supplies far into the future. But black pepper isn't just a flavoring agent, it's a pivotal preservative, especially when refrigeration is unreliable or unavailable. Kitchen tests have shown that pepper can extend the shelf life of meats by months, making it an absolute asset when other preservation methods fail. Whole peppercorns bought in bulk and stored in airtight containers last virtually forever and pack immense value per dollar, both for personal use and potential trade. This is one of those items where a small investment now could pay enormous dividends later. Now let's talk about white vinegar. Plain white vinegar, an unremarkable supermarket staple, plays a critical role in survival and sanitation that most people completely overlook. Its production depends heavily on corn, which is under massive pressure from weather events and competition, notably ethanol fuel production. This means vinegar shelves can switch from abundant to completely empty in just days, and we've already witnessed this in several states. The versatility of vinegar cannot be overstated. It preserves vegetables without refrigeration through pickling. It cleans and disinfects surfaces effectively. It removes, and it can even improve marginal water quality through acidification, which becomes especially important during water advisories or emergencies. The best part? Vinegar never expires. Its value in an emergency or barter economy could be immense. A modest investment in vinegar today could mean preserved food, safety, and significant trade value tomorrow. Moving on to baking soda. Now, stories from Argentina's 2001 financial collapse revealed baking soda as a surprisingly high-value trade good, and there's a good reason why. Its uses are nearly endless. It neutralizes stomach acid and treats bites and stings. It cleans teeth and prevents dental crises when toothpaste runs out. It deodorizes living areas. It extinguishes grease fires where water can't be used. And it leavens bread when yeast is unavailable. But here's the supply chain concern. Baking soda is mined from a mineral called trona, mainly in Wyoming, and these mines aren't expanding. Demand is climbing, production is flat, and prices have already surged. This is an item to buy in bulk, store in airtight containers, and rely on whether for personal need, barter, or emergencies. Salt. Let's talk about the original survival currency. Salt was once so valuable that Roman soldiers were literally paid in it. That's where the word salary comes from. And in a future where modern logistics falter, salt could once again be the difference between thriving and perishing. Salt is essential to human physiology. Sodium is non-negotiable for survival. It preserves meat and vegetables for months without any refrigeration, and it replaces lost electrolytes, preventing heat exhaustion during physical labor or hot weather. Here's the thing. Most people vastly underestimate how much salt they should store. For true security, you need to think in pounds, not ounces. Stored correctly, salt never spoils. Its low cost relative to its massive utility means it's an absolute no-brainer for the long-term pantry and as a barter item. Yeast is next, and the pandemic gave us a preview of what happens when everyone suddenly needs it. Yeast vanished for half a year, and that was just due to a surge in home baking. In a true crisis requiring actual home food production, yeast could disappear for good. Think about it. Bread as a morale booster and a way to stretch your food supplies. The ability to create alcohol for disinfectant purposes and barter. Yeast is easy to store too. Just freeze unopened agates, or better yet, learn to maintain a sourdough culture for a perpetual supply. Sourdough starter is genuinely survival wisdom. By capturing wild yeast, you're future-proofing your ability to make bread and some brewed products. Modern yeast production is highly concentrated in just a few facilities, so any problem at those locations causes an instant shortage. Plan ahead by stocking up now and learning to culture your own. Cooking oil is the calorie king. Vegetable oil, canola oil, soybean oil, they enter nearly every meal, but are among the most supply chain stressed household items. They're vulnerable to crop failures, they require complex refining processes, and they have relatively short shelf lives, especially after opening. The strategy here is rotation and proper stockpiling. Buy oils in smaller bottles to use before they go rancid. Store unopened bottles in cool places away from light. Rotate your stock consistently. You can even mix in vitamin E capsules to prolong shelf life. Remember, oil is incredibly calorie dense, which becomes crucial in a food-scarce world, and it enhances both the nutrition and the morale-boosting quality of food. Matches. Simple, right? But here's what you need to know. Production of matches is centralized in old facilities, and some of these have closed entire sections due to irreparable equipment breakdowns. This has slashed supply by nearly a third overnight. On top of that, regulations on ingredients like red phosphorus and sulfur may cut production even further in the coming years. Why do matches beat lighters? Lighters break, their fuel runs out, but matches, especially waterproof or strike anywhere types, work in virtually any conditions and require zero maintenance. They're cheap, incredibly easy to store, and will be vital for heating, cooking, and maintaining morale if the power grid goes down. Stock up now while they're still available and affordable. Bleach is an indispensable sanitizer, but not all versions are created equal. You want plain, unscented chlorine bleach. Its uses are critical. Water purification using just 8 drops per gallon makes contaminated water safe to drink. It kills disease on surfaces, tools, and laundry. In past disasters around the world, bleach was consistently one of the primary traded commodities. But here's the catch with bleach. Rotation is absolutely key. Bleach loses its potency after 6 to 12 months. Don't bulk buy for years of storage. Instead, rotate your stock. 6 gallons every 6 months ensures you always have a fresh, effective supply. Store it cool and dark, always in the original containers for safety. Batteries are the power backup you'll miss most when they're gone. Production and raw material extraction for batteries is concentrated in just a handful of countries and is facing escalating shortages and price surges.
Classic alkaline AA and AAA batteries hold their charge for up to 10 years and are actually preferable to rechargeables for emergency stockpiling because rechargeables self-drain during storage. The strategy for accumulation is simple and painless. Build your supply slowly. 1 pack on every store visit adds up incredibly quickly. Keep batteries cool and dry, avoid heat exposure, and check yearly for any leaks. In a true blackout scenario, batteries become both a lifeline for your flashlights and radios and a valuable trade currency. Finally, instant coffee. Now, I know what you're thinking. Instant coffee isn't exactly gourmet, but in a crisis, morale and alertness are just as important as calories. Instant coffee, often dismissed as inferior, lasts decades in sealed jars. We're talking far longer than whole beans or ground coffee. It requires no special equipment to brew, and it packs a serious wallop in terms of trade value. Coffee keeps spirits up during hard times. It lasts 20+ years if sealed properly, and it doubles as a luxury barter item. In fact, it was worth more than cigarettes during the wartime crisis in Bosnia. Beyond drinking, coffee can flavor stews, meats, and chili. You can stretch supplies with alternatives like chicory or even dandelion root. In times of stress, even a poor cup of coffee provides a psychological boost that's worth far more than its cost. So now you know the 11 items, but knowing isn't enough. You need to take action, and you need to do it without contributing to panic. Here's your strategy. Don't attempt to buy out stores overnight. Hoarding triggers exactly the panic everyone wants to avoid, and it hurts your community. Instead, start with a stepwise approach. Pick 3 items from this list on your next grocery run. Build your stock by habit, not by crisis. Make it routine, not dramatic. Proper storage is absolutely vital for every item. Keep things cool, dark, and dry whenever possible. Use airtight containers for powders like baking soda and salt. Keep chemicals like bleach and vinegar in their original jugs for safety and stability. And critically, rotate items with short shelf lives, bleach, opened oils, and yeast unless it's frozen. But stockpiling is only half the battle. You need to multiply your security with knowledge. Learn how to actually use these items. Practice curing meats. Start and maintain a sourdough culture. Learn pickling techniques for vegetables. Understand how to purify water with bleach. Skills paired with resources create true resilience. The safe route is never waiting until an item appears on the evening news before you act. By that point, stores are empty within a day, and prices can be completely out of reach. Knowing what to stockpile and why means you dodge panic, protect your budget, and safeguard your family's well-being. Being informed is not being paranoid, it's being prudent. Disruptions, whether from weather events, supply chain breakdowns, or new regulations, are here to stay. Each of these 11 items offers not just practical utility, but potential as barter goods, morale boosters, and genuine lifesavers in hard times. Uncertainty doesn't mean helplessness. By quietly and steadily preparing for potential shortages, you minimize stress, avoid panic, and build a safety net that could make all the difference while others are left scrambling at empty shelves. Start with the basics, make strategic additions from these 11 essentials, and spread the word to friends and family that matter to you. True readiness is proactive, not reactive. Take these steps today and you'll sleep better tonight knowing you're prepared for whatever tomorrow brings. If you found this information valuable, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Food Decider so you never miss critical updates on food security and smart preparation, and drop a comment below telling me which of these 11 items you're prioritizing first. Stay prepared, stay smart, and I'll see you in the next